Hello people, welcome back to another episode of What the Hell is Angus going to cook from the Scots kitchen this time? That's right, your favourite Scot, your favourite Highlander, that's me obviously, is going to cook something that should interest you. It's going to involve a loin joint for making bacon. It's a fucking intro! It's a fucking intro! I'm doing this temporarily until I press a new intro scene. It's a fucking intro! It's a fucking intro! It's a fucking intro! Now on for the main show. Spiced bacon, in fact. And this is a cure recipe, so we're going to cure bacon. So it tells me we need a 15 score pig. Now a score is a way to measure how fat or fatty a pig's going to be when slaughtered. It's no use to us. I just bought a joint from the supermarket. If you've got a butcher, much better. Salt, and I have a lot of salt with me. Brown sugar, allspice, Jamaica pepper in other words, mixed spice, and our good old friend Mr. Preservative, saltpetre. So it tells me to remove all the bones and cut the sides into halves. Don't have to worry about that. Take about 2 pounds of salt and half an ounce of saltpetre and rub the skin until it sweats. Now, my joint happens to be rindless, which means no skin, so I'm ignoring that. But if you buy a joint and it has a rind, that means it has skin. So you're going to have to do that. Now, 2 pounds and half an ounce is a bit much, depending upon the size of your pig. That's talking about an entire half of a pig. Probably won't need that much, but if you want to follow that, what you can do is rub the skin until it sweats. So rub the rind with the mix until it sweats. Once it starts sweating, stop. And what I'm going to do now is rub the flesh with half an ounce of saltpetre. Actually, what it says is rub the bacon on the flesh side with the remaining saltpetre, but it doesn't tell me how much beyond the half ounce of measurement in the salt mix. So I'm going to go with half an ounce. What is half an ounce? I don't know. I'm going to find out. Let's hope they're not using Scottish ounces, because if this is Scottish units, they've not been in use for 300 years or so, give or take, depending. So here we go. We're wanting half an ounce. And I'm going to rub that in. Now if you're wondering what I was just pouring into, it's a scale. So what is that in grams? 15 grams, it's not too bad. So, where have my scissors gone? Boom! Okay, pork. Pork it to me, baby. And what you're going to need is a tub, because you're going to drown this in salt once you've done this stage. So mine is rolled. To be honest, that's fine because it's just going to get covered in salt anyway. So I'm going to roll mine flesh side as it says. in saltpetre to, you know, just get it to soak in the saltpetre. That's it there, all salty petered up, absolutely rubbed in it. So that's just a preservative. Now that I have been rubbed, I'm going to cover this completely in salt. So I'm going to put it in my tub and then cover it in salt. What you see here is a bunch of salt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 kilos of salt. Well, 5 if you include this, but that is my salt for daily cooking. It's not getting used, this side is. And we're going to cover this, our saltpetered pork, in salt. It's going to take a hell of a lot of salt. I mean, the book says 7.5 pounds a side. So we're covering the fucker up completely. It's too slow. Thank you, Ronnie. There we go. If you have a smaller tub, use that. This is quite a small loin, but it's only me and the boys in here. So this is probably going to take me 3 of these, 4 of these. So 2 kilos to cover this size of pork. There we go. And the idea is to completely cover okay, it's taken 5. And that's a lot of salt caking it. Salty hands. If I had a smaller tub, it'd be better, I suspect, for the size of pork. But it does say 7 pounds a side, and there we go. So that took 2.5 kilos of salt for my pork. And what we're going to do that is leave this for 12 days, and every couple of days we're going to turn it just to see, just to let it soak in, really let the salt get into the meat. It's going to soak it in, and once that's done, well, not all the salt, but this pork will absorb all the salt and be ready for the cure. And once it's listened to the cure, I'll put on the flavour cure. Yeah, I know. I know. But that's me for the bacon just now. I will see you in 12 days. Okay. As you can see, I've removed the salt from the tub and put it in this bowl. I'm going to use it again for another loin. I keep this process going, get all the bacon. I've brushed off the excess where I could from the bacon. That's going back in the tub. And then we're going to use, I believe, 1/2 pound of sugar, as it's stated. Which is not an awful lot, but per piece. we go. Half a pound of sugar. And we're going to basically dump that on top and mix it all in. And then just leave it for 2 days more. Just to rub that in there. Because we want it to be flavoursome, I guess. Sweet bacon. Yeah. And we're going to leave that for 2 days. And then we'll spice it up and then hang it for a week and then bacon's done. Day 14 in Big Bacon House. This week, today, we are going to take our bacon, which has been marinating in the sugar, and it looks gorgeous, a gorgeous brown from the sugar. And we're going to add a spice mix to it, and then we're going to wrap it up with some string and hang it for a week. So it says for us to take 2 ounces of Jamaica pepper and 2 ounces of mixed spices, including a proportion of cloves, which this does, mixed spice does have cloves in it, and sprinkle the bacon, allowing 2 ounces of mixture to each piece. Roll up and tie with a spring some string or twine. So I'm making a dredger. And I'm not going to make 2 ounces of such and such, I'm going to make 1 ounce of each. Because I don't have 2 pieces of bacon. I think even 1 ounce would be a bit much. But it's probably going to be, I think almost all my allspice to fit. Fuck. Yep. Almost all my oh, that's my allspice gone. Empty. And the same for the mixed spice. Ugh, come on. Making the dredger. So as you can see, I'm putting it in. It's a lot of mix. That's a lot of spice. That's almost empty my mixed spice jar. I'm going to have to refresh and hit the Chinese place soon. And what I'm doing is I'm just mixing it in. So that we get a nice even dredge. And then we're going to take our bacon, and how good does that look, folks? It's a nice caramelised colour coming in from the sugar, and we're going to dredge it. I say sprinkle, but come on. And there we go. It is done. It's spiced. And what we're going to do is tie this up and then hang it for a week. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to tie this up and hang it for a week. When it's done, we shall slice it and fry it and see how it tastes. See you in a week. Well, it's bacon time. That's right, it's been hanging for 7 days. This is the end, the culmination of 3 weeks of waiting for bacon. And here we have it, folks. Our aged, spiced bacon. So now it's time to slice it up and fry it up and then test it out. Back in a bit. Ignore the side here, that's That's just a load of ingredients for the next thing we're going to do. Okay, first up we have the slicer. We're going to put the bacon on. And what we're going to do is put it on a 5mm slice. Let's see how that does. Ready? Okay, we have very small because the loin was small, but we have back bacon. We've got a little bit of stomach here, the belly, and the medallion that comes with back bacon of the flesh. This is how the UK tends to have its bacon. That is, I'm sure, going to be very tasty. Now to fry it up. Okay, so we sliced it to about 5mm thickness. I went and fried it up. Now according to the book, it's best between a buttered bat. You know, you open up a roll and you butter both sides of the roll and put your bacon in and you're good. So when I was cooking it, there's one thing I noticed. It smells amazing. And it smells very similar to what we in Scotland would sell. What you can buy in a butcher, it's called a fruit pudding. It's like a suet, cinnamon, mixed spice with currants and stuff mixture that you can fry up. And it smells great. So, here we go. One pre-made sandwich, one with a cooked bacon. Which is going to get made into a sandwich. I just wanted to show you what it would look like when cooked. So we've got two here, and I've been waiting 3 weeks for this. I'm hoping this really tastes nice. Mmm. 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 My only regret is using a tiger loaf for the bread, because the crust is hell of a chewy thing. It's a strong chewy crust, but the bacon itself. Mmm. Mmm. It's sweet, it's salty, it's got that wonderful mixed flavour of a cinnamon and clove. Just gently there, and oh wow, that's delicious. I would recommend you to do this if you're going to make bacon. Try this. It's delicious. It just takes a few weeks, but it's delicious. I'm going to go finish these off. I don't think I can improve on it. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another bacon. From now on, I'm making my own bacon forever. So anyway, I'll see you later. And I'll mention in the blowjob bar how many slices I got out of this small piece of pork. See you later. So, I've munched my bacon. Delicious. I still say it's delicious. Only I think the only change I'd say to improve it, now that I've eaten it and had time to contemplate, is is about the saltiness. Modern tastes aren't as reliant on salt for foods. We don't have to worry about preservation so much, we've got fridges for that. So I'd probably brine it for 8 days in the future, when I'm definitely making this again, so it's not as salty. But otherwise, sweet, wonderfully spiced, delicious, and I'm so glad I had it. I got about 30-ish slices out of a 400 to 500 gram loin. I cannot remember how much weight was in the loin because it was 3 weeks ago and I didn't check. I might have mentioned it in the video. I've obviously not watched back to edit yet. That comes now. But yeah, I would say make this, brine it for 8 days, not 12, and adjust as needed in the future. Delicious. And that's the only improvement I can think of. So yeah.